Hello, hello.
Hey, how you doing? Alright, folks. Welcome back to the Chicago Dota 2 Open. We've gotten to the... Oh, God, I didn't switch the seats. Alright, we're in the Losers Bracket Final. This is, as far as I know, the last best of one game, and it is going to be an elimination match. One of these two teams is going to be in third place, although still in the money for the tournament. One of them will go on to face TMCP, the defending champions, in the finals of the tournament. This is the Chicago Dota 2 Open, held at Ignite Gaming Lounge here in Chicago. Sponsors are Ignite, Steel Series, Dustoff, and Merlini Dota. And joining me for this game is a very special guest. We've got Shibby from the team that's going to face the winner of this in the grand finals. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I really appreciate having the chance to co-cast. Really looking forward to this match.
Yeah, so first off, I guess let's talk about you're gonna face one of these teams next.
Yep.
You've already played both of them, so you beat UW Mad in the losers semis, I think, and then you beat VeXx in the losers finals. Which of these teams scares you more? Which would you rather see, and why?
Honestly, when I see UW Madison, like I've noticed, like their drafts are usually the same. It revolves around their alchemist. They'll pick like a Visage or Rubik. So I think if they have the chance to get the heroes that they're comfortable with, they definitely like pose a threat. But at the same time, VeXx Gaming definitely has the good players, and they know their lineups. Like you hear them strategizing. They know what heroes they like. Like for example, they love the Naga. Like it has perfect initiation and setup.
Yeah, I mean Naga is super duper strong hero. I feel like there was a bit of a time where she wasn't played at all, and then people started experimenting with her. We saw her like mid. Some teams are playing her carry again, like they did at TI2. But now it's pretty much, I guess, settled. Everybody's playing her as that support for the super strong disruption with the ensnare and Song of the Siren. Do you guys play it a lot?
Sadly we don't. We don't really have someone who's really comfortable with Naga, and we like try to like stay what we're comfortable with. Like the game will flow better. We'll all have a good like positive attitude, and it's always hard to play a hero like you're not really comfortable with.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
just hopefully a hero that we can definitely learn how to like take advantage of for the next tournament, hopefully.
Sure, and I've definitely seen, because of how many games are best of one in this tournament, it has double elim, but as soon as you lose one, you're very scared of losing it. A lot of teams have been relying upon like one good lineup that they know really well, and they run it a lot. Like I know you guys were doing a lot of Gyro Safe and then Venge Visage X tri-lane, and then you just do whatever mid. I don't know. I mean, I feel like a lot of teams are doing that. Like, they have this sort of pocket, but when we get to the best of three in the grand finals, I guess it's best of three and then potentially best of one extended if you drop the first one.
Yeah.
So for that, do you think that there'll be, like, more diversity of picking and stuff?
Yeah, I think we'll have that opportunity to be more diverse, like have a wider variety, maybe try out some strats that we have maybe, like, been planning out. Like definitely we'll feel more comfortable. We don't have to worry about like losing one. Like we'll have 3 games and we'll definitely play solid and just try out some new things hopefully.
Right. All right, so let's jump into the draft here. So UMAD, they've gone with 2 heroes that they've been running pretty much all the way through, as you mentioned. Amoner plays really good Rubik. That last game he had some pretty sick steals. He got a Song of the Siren twice. He got Fiend's Grip. So he's definitely practiced on this hero, and I think Alchemist is Jahordan's most played hero of the competition too, so I guess with that combination they get a really solid, safe tri-lane, whereas VeXx's is more mixed. Like, you can put Weaver really anywhere. Who do you favor so far in this draft?
Right now, I'm actually liking that Rubik pick, because you can tell, like, after that Naga Siren, you know they're going to want to run some kind of heavy AoE or ulti heroes. Heroes that do like really heavy damage, and Rubik will have that opportunity to steal one of those skills and hopefully turn the team fight.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think that the first, like, usually Rubik, you pick him so early, you worry about whether you'll actually have the opportunity to steal stuff, but I think as you rightly pointed out, there's already like 4 amazing spells for Rubik to steal. 3 of Naga's spells are all great, and then Shukuchi is just
even
insane.
Shukuchi, that gives you so much mobility and harass, like it's insane.
I remember, I think Fluff and Stuff had a bunch of Shukuchi steals at TI3 for Team Liquid, and that was just huge for them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Amon are definitely going to be one to watch. For VeXx, so they have a Weaver and they've got a Naga. What do they fill this lineup out with? Do you think it is those big AoEs to follow up Naga with, or something else to
I think they still have the Darkseer, so they could either put that in the off lane. I'm not sure. They have the Gyro pick for the big cooldowns. They can definitely put the Weaver in the safe lane or off lane. Even mid works. It's a pretty versatile hero. They can honestly, if they want, they can try to counter pick with good like team fight.
Yeah, definitely. Interesting choice from UMAD. They take Lina third. It's a little earlier than we typically see this hero. It does ramp up their damage massively, so against heroes like Weaver, for instance, if you can just
really
kill
good
him,
CC. Yeah.
And Storm is the pick for VeXx. So I know that you guys played against VeXx. Did you watch any of the other games? Actually, I've missed most of their games.
I don't think they actually had any games casted besides the one we played with them. So I wasn't really able to look because also their match history isn't shown since it's a private lobby.
Right. I know some people were still watching the games in game, but yeah, I didn't get a chance to stream them at all. They just managed to deflect me until today. But we are seeing them for the second time today. I know they played you guys this morning, and
Yep.
that was you guys, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And Hackle Shots just went pretty ham on Windrunner.
That crazy Windrunner.
But here they pick the Storm, and I think the Storm pick is actually quite interesting because there's an aspect of this that I wonder if they're trying to take it away from Spitwad, because he's played it a lot. It seems to be his most favorite hero this tournament so far. And oh my god, Undying, switching it up.
It's a pretty interesting hero. You don't really see Undying that much anymore, especially like if you're running it with a Naga. Maybe you want something more to like burst down, like take advantage of that net and also the minus armor.
What is your knowledge of the Tombstone versus Acid Spray? Does Acid Spray hurt?
The zombies will not die from the Acid Spray.
Okay, all right. Was that a change? I feel like they used to.
I think it might have been a change because honestly, like an Al could probably just sit under Tomb and get insane amounts of gold if you just level Screed and Acid Spray.
Purposefully not kill the Tombstone.
Exactly. That's a very smart thing to do, especially if you're not feeling the pressure. There's no other heroes attacking you.
Right.
You could honestly just sit there and kill zombies for 30 gold each.
Right. So that's something that they're going to have to be super careful about, I feel. Even if Acid Spray doesn't kill them, even an Alchemist, if he goes something like Maelstrom, which I know we don't see that often these days, but if he starts mopping those things up with like really good attack speed, they're going to get way ahead. And you can see they feel pretty confident that this Alchemist is going to be the tankiest, the most farmed thing on the block, because they don't choose a heavy farming mid. They go with a Magnus again.
Yeah, he's more just like get his core items and go around ganking for the team, playing a big role mid-game.
Huh. Interesting that they chose to ban the Clinks. So obviously VeXx were watching the last game.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit of a respect ban.
Yeah. But instead, UMAD, I mean, Gyrocopter made it all the way to 5th pick. This is actually pretty interesting. Where do you see this being laned? Is this another Gyro mid and then aggressive tri-mag?
I feel like they can put the mag mid and safe lane the Gyro and then just go offensive with that lane.
Okay.
They have the really good pick off. They can go around. Their supports are very mobile. They can smoke gank the mid. They play, like, they'll go really well in the aggressive tri-lane, and they'll give Gyro some space to farm.
Yeah.
And if they pull him a sentry, like, he'll have a chance to lane up against the Weaver. Oh,
sure. Okay,
so it could be a clockwork now, actually.
Huh, that's really neat. So it's going to be a tri-lane Weaver. That it does give them a lot of punch in the tri-lane. It's so long since I've seen Undying. I see Undying like once out of every 100 games now in pro play, so... Call Down versus Tombstone, does that work?
No, I believe it doesn't.
Okay.
I think Flak might, however.
Oh, sorry, I meant Flak. I said
yeah,
Call Down,
I think so. I think Flak would hit the zombies.
Well, that's actually pretty brutal then, because that's
that does
gonna be... You could actually attack the Tombstone and get all the zombies with the Flak,
Yeah, exactly. Get that 100 gold plus all the others. So it definitely helps.
Alright, so what impact do you see this Undying making? Could this be like a good skill tipper for them in teamfights, or have they picked around it enough that it's just going to be neutered?
I think they, like, UMAD definitely has, like, in the middle, like, up in their team fight, and Undying can put his Tombstone hopefully to the side and keep it alive, hopefully, so it'll stack the zombies, and then they might have the chance to turn the team fights. It's definitely a very good, like, defensive hero. Like, you can drop the tomb if they're diving, and most likely people will try to back off if they don't have the, like, the range supports to kill the tomb quickly.
Yeah, I definitely think Undying is the kind of hero who can have an enormous impact, but he does need to do pretty well in lane, so...
Exactly. He can also... Spamming that decay on the supports is definitely a very hard thing to deal with. Like, they'll be down to, like, 300, 400 HP.
Right.
And then a big team fight happens, it's not that great.
Rubik and Lina by no means tanky. Lina with, he does have a little bit of stats, he's playing that 4 role. Rubik with just regen, so he only has 19 strength. Even a couple decays, and that Rubik is gonna just drop to Weaver, basically. So definitely a delicate situation up in the top. Alright, so I guess let's go ahead and introduce the teams. I'll get VeXx, since I know they were somewhat vexed that I didn't stream him enough yesterday, so I'll go ahead and introduce them.
Alright.
9006, he's going to be on the Weaver in this tri-lane. We saw him on the Weaver solo lane, but this time probably going to be supported a little more than he was that time. He is joined by Masterman on the Naga Siren and Euphorus on the Undying. Then in the mid, they're going to run Care Bear Dragon on the Clockwork, and in the bottom, it's going to be Lights on this Storm Spirit.
Alright. So for UMAD, we got Jahordan on the Alchemist, Amoner on the Rubik, Spitwad NA Dota for the Gyro, GNE for the Magnus, and Strelok for the Lina.
Yeah, so these are pretty interesting lanes in the end. The one that we sort of expected once we saw the draft was obviously the Weaver Naga. Oh man, actually trouble for Jahordan. Euphorus is already on top of him. There's the telekinesis dropping onto Masterman, but he uses the unstable concoction. And,
It's the problem, they didn't have Lina. He was just going to put some defensive wards for the for the Gyro to get his rune and hopefully be aware of some ganks from top.
Right.
Here's SDK.
It seemed like VeXx didn't really have the damage just yet to make anything of it, though. Is that going to keep being a problem?
I think so, until they get around level 2 or 3. Like, Naga definitely needs her Riptide for that minus armor. And then, plus, Lina just gets her nukes up so they can have that CC and possibly burst down the Naga, or possibly the Weaver if they do have sentries, which Lina does have.
Yeah, so far...
That's unfortunate. He's used the sentry and they didn't. He should have checked probably first.
Yeah, I don't think the sentry... Does it reach?
It won't block it, but I think he thought they might have like had a ward possibly blocking camp, or just a defensive ward to like see where they are, possibly a ward here to catch them, so they know if they're out of position.
I think the sentry pre-nerf would have actually caught the observer.
Probably, yeah. That's the problem. A lot of people like they weren't aware of how badly the sentries were nerfed, and they're using them, and it's not the correct range, sadly.
Yeah, 150 is really, really enormous. I mean, it's almost like a 20% nerf to the range of the sentries. Actually, it's more. What the hell am I saying? It's more than 20%.
What was it? The original range?
950, now it's 800. There's the Tombstone. They throw out another bit of extra D-armor effects. They're right under tower. There's the stable concoction, only on one. Jahordan in a little bit of trouble. It's first blood. Euphorus might pay for it. He throws out one more decay. He actually makes it away with 11 health. He's on acid spray, though. No, he lives. And Masterman walks away as well, and they get a kill on Jahordan. Weaver actually does get picked off in the back by Fade Bolt, I guess? But not before getting the kill.
Yeah. Honestly, it's a questionable trade. They did get the carry down, and they all did share the XP for that. It's just the one problem was their carry had to lose a lot of XP, some gold, and buy a TP to come back in the lane.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, honestly, for UMAD, even though Alchemist isn't farming that amazingly, the fact is they have gone for this sort of post-TI3 multi-core approach, where even if the Alchemist doesn't do amazing, Gyro's doing quite well mid. 13 for 8 to Clockwork, 6 for 1. And he's actually rotating bottom. We might see Spitwad. He doesn't have homing, so that's going to be tricky. But Lights, of course, does not have his ultimate yet, because it's only level 4. But yeah, there's really no chance. I don't see how they
I actually think the Storm might have got a glimpse of him, because it's still daytime.
Oh.
So he's taking a risk coming down that way, losing some XP. Clock's going to catch up on some levels in last hits.
Yeah. What do you think about this hyper-rushed Bloodstone that it looks like Storm is going for? What's the idea behind this?
It is good. It gives him that ability to stay in lane. He won't get harassed off. But the problem is they need something to stop the Mag, the Gyro, the Alp, and Storm rushing an Orchid early really has that effect.
Oh man, what a huge acid spray up top.
Yeah.
They use Tombstone, but they completely get deflected 2 down immediately, and Jahordan lives with a lot of health. I mean, you were talking about it. They don't really have that much damage. And so if they're sitting on acid spray that whole time, they're just going to take a huge beating.
The minus armor stack definitely affects them when they're really low HP and squishy heroes.
Do you think, so is this tri-lane lost? They're now down 3-1. Can they just come back into it?
I believe they still have the ability to come back. And Undying Tombstone definitely can change the effects of the fight. They just need to like choose their battles. They can't overextend, and right now, especially since it's already 1-3 with Elk surviving all these fights, they need to like not be trading as much.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they know that they have an aggressive lineup. They know that Undying really wants to make an impact. Kind of an interesting skill build from him as well. 2 decay, so he could just continue spamming, and only 1 in the Tombstone.
Honestly, it's a pretty good build, especially if you can get the Lina and Rubik in it together.
Oh.
All that strength stolen, it definitely adds up, and it will help them for the team fights.
Sure. If he can hit, I mean, if he consistently hits 3, he's gonna actually get terrifyingly tanky in that process.
Yeah.
But he needs the mana, and right now he's only got
Exactly.
429. They've got 1 clarity left. Still looks like they're trying to make something happen. He actually uses the decay to score a last hit there, so disrupting the pull any way they can. They're actually doing a pretty good job. I think Weaver's gonna get every. He missed that last one.
They didn't get to pull those, but it's all right.
Almost got it. And Spitwad, meanwhile, is doing great in mid. I mean, I guess there's not that much. What do you do as Clockwork in this lane? I guess you don't really have that much.
It's
of a
really
chance to do
hard
that.
because most likely people do put Clockwork like mid, so he can use that cog harass. And with
Yeah.
Gyro, with that range, it's just really hard to get up close to him and make him lose all his mana.
Yeah. And I guess if you trap him in, you auto die
Yeah,
because Rocket Barrage is
honestly,
better
he
than
will
battery.
barrage you, yeah, and it's gonna be painful.
In light of that, what do you think that this was the right build, going for heavy battery, or should he just be trying to help the top lane with Rocket Barrage?
I think honestly, Gyro for now he can go battery. I'd maybe consider the level 1 Rocket just to harass the Clockwork and push him away from the lane. It also does work really well against heroes that don't have like a dodging ability.
Sure.
So like they will like usually like your reaction is okay, a Rocket's coming at me, run back as far as I
Right,
can.
right.
It'll give him that like safe time to farm.
Yeah. What about for Clockwork? Would it be better to get the global presence of having the flare, or is?
I think so, because right now he's really not using his battery assault. Like for him to get up close to a Gyro, it might lead to him dying just from that barrage and ult. But maybe right now, since Gyro's missing a lot of mana, he'll either have to choose between a barrage, but it looks like Clockwork has to go heal because he was unable to get the rune.
He does still have Hook, so this is a pretty delicate moment. Clockwork is almost level 7. If he comes to, for instance, top lane and lands a really good Hook and Cogs combo, I think they could really give them the jolt that they need in this kind of...
Yeah, they definitely need him to be really active and coming into the lanes as soon as Hook's off cooldown. He can't really be sitting mid trying to like out-farm Gyro or slow him down as much. And it'll definitely
he's really
help.
not doing it at all. Gyro has 36 last hits.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it looks like Clockwork definitely is up top, but
they see
the
him
creep
though, I
wave,
think.
yeah, it's kind of like your element of surprise with the Clockwork Hook is really needed.
Yep.
But now that they know he's here, the 2 supports are sitting on tower.
Really
And
smart.
they could bait the Elk possibly if they think they can pick off, but since it is 4-3, they might be a little nervous with the Tomb.
Yeah.
Okay, so we do got an offensive ward up, so they know that they know that the Clockwork's here and they're gonna play defensive.
Yeah. This reestablishes the vision behind the tower that was really useful to them, so I think it's a really smart ward placement. But Clockwork, he doesn't want to leave without having something to show for his troubles, but now UMAT are just retreating towards their tier 2, so they're responding to this exactly correctly, and they definitely feel like they're in command of the pace of the game. The one wild card to me, now that it doesn't seem like Clockwork is getting that much done, is Storm, because he is moving towards that Bloodstone at a pretty accelerated rate.
Dire's top tower is
Yeah,
under
it's gonna be
attack.
good. Like he'll have that Bloodstone. It has the good mana regen, HP. Plus, if like you're in that team fight where your teammates need that heal, when you're low, you can suicide and help them out.
Dire's top tower
But
is under attack.
it's always 50-50 to go Bloodstone.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if he gets it fast enough and they manage to do well enough, that's one thing. But if he gets it fast and they just keep dying, I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it if you have that like team fight lineup. Like you'll get those charges and you'll really be able to do work with the extra mana, the regen, and then also respawning a lot quicker to help the team fight, so you don't have to buy back.
Yeah, they did make something of the Clockwork, so they used Tombstone to screen behind the tower.
Radiant's
They put the
middle
Tombstone
tower
up
is
here.
under attack.
UMAD didn't want to come defend the tower. They end up getting the tower kill. I think Clockwork got the last hit. No, Undying got the last hit.
Here comes the RP.
oh, man, meanwhile on the
but
bottom-
he got out of the second hit.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
jumps
that was
out.
smart.
That's really nice. He uses that, manages to get just enough mana to get out of the second call down as well as the RP. So the RP hits, but that rotation from Spitwad doesn't make too much happen, I
That's
guess.
time wasted for them. Like they do have the lead somewhat now. Top lane was pushed back a little bit when the Clockwork came, but this
there's
gives
the
out
hook.
that free farm.
Trouble for
here we go.
Spitwad. There's lights right back on him. He has enough mana. Spitwad drops. Clockwork Dragon gets the kill. He's caught up. He was falling a little bit behind because of all that time he spent top, but now he's up on levels. He's tied with the Gyrocopter. He gets a little bit of a jolt of farm from that. That was a really, really important kill. Punish Spitwad for coming in, take him out of the fight for a while, and free up room on the map.
Yeah, that was really smart. Like, you can't really go top there too close to the tier 2. Mid's a little, it's not as easy, but he was definitely smart to come down there bot and make a play. It'll definitely help out the Storm get a quicker Bloodstone and just the levels and gold that he really needed to catch up on.
Yeah. I mean, Clockwork, he gets the last hit there. That moves him. He didn't have much of anything for farm, so at least that moves him towards Arcanes if he wants, or Phase if he wants.
Yep.
Tier 2 boots are going to be really important, I think.
Yeah, definitely. If they do go Arcanes, it'll definitely help out the team. Like, it's nice, like, you can help give Storm some more mana.
Sure.
And just for the pushing.
Yeah. I mean, I think both teams really advancing their plans more or less. Even with that death, Spitwad is pretty farmed. He's probably he's the most farmed person on Dire, anyways. Storm Spirit is quite a bit ahead as far as ranking goes.
Might be...
Oh, trouble for 906. He is dusted.
Oh.
There's the unstable concoction. There's a hook shot. Defensive cogs, but Magnus manages to get it with a shockwave. Now they're beating on Care Bear Dragon. He's completely trapped. He's completely body blocked. Yeah. They're just going unstable again. This is probably 2 kills. 5-2 going to be the through line. That was a nice attempt to save Weaver, but Magnus burst damage too good.
Yep.
Does that change the balance of the game at all? Getting Weaver down again, moving him farther from his Lincolns?
It will definitely hurt them. Weaver is their like main only hard carry, and if he's really not farming this game, no one else really is besides the Storm.
Right.
But it's always nice to have that one like powerhouse hero, like a Gyro for example, the Elf. Like they have 2 very top heroes that can carry, but the only hero on their team is the Weaver, and he's really not getting what he needs this game.
Smoke gank, but they can't decide who they want to go on, and the haste of the Naga Siren probably wasted unless they can make something happen. There's Lasso, Entangle to follow, Decay, he throws down Call Down, Lights is in a lot of trouble, maybe they can't get Spitwad, they get him! Clockwork with the Rocket Flare, very nicely played, RP is available, but GNE can't catch up, not without Blink, and wow, that was actually really delicate, that could have gone really badly.
I feel like if that rocket didn't came, that mag maybe could have just manned up and skewered in and just pushed them away so the Gyro would get away.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, meanwhile, Jahorden tries to catch out 906 again, but maybe he's going to just stun himself. Yep. Yeah. Weaver's probably okay. He throws out the bugs. Actually, might try to fight this. 906 feeling very confident. Hope he doesn't get nailed with the Light Strike Array, because that would be the end of him. Yeah, he's just going to Shukatri away as soon as he sees the Rubik. 1 sentry still available on Lita, so that was the smart move there.
Yeah,
oh man, GNE, how'd he get caught out so hard? He RPs just to save himself, but the batteries might be enough with Rocket Flare once again. Care Bear Dragon, he's suddenly doing a ton of work as Clockwork. He's basically everywhere, picking people off from UMAD. How does UMAD get map control back now?
Honestly, I think the supports really need to play a big ganking with the mag. Just maybe let either the Gyro or Alk farm and do some 4-on-1 Dota possibly. Because right now, the VeXx really has the pick-off. They have a Storm, they have the Clockwork, they can just go in and jump on heroes and get out hopefully pretty quickly. While the team fight is really what UMAD is looking for.
Right. Yeah, and VeXx pushing onto another tier 1. They want to take this will be the 2nd tower for them. Tombstone once again behind it, providing that crucial little screen. Right now, UMAD, they don't seem to want to contest the towers. I think they feel that except with like a really good RP, maybe they wouldn't be able to actually manage it. So they get some wards, so they have really good vision of the Radiant jungle. But they decide not to actually finish the tower. Interesting. They're just going to deny their mid.
Radiant's middle tower has been denied.
So Storm, when he hits Bloodstone, how much does that change, if anything?
Oh, can you repeat that? Sorry, the mic
So
was
when
a little
Storm hits his Bloodstone, how much is that going to change for this game?
It'll definitely help a lot. They can start picking off more kills after he gets the Bloodstone, it'll really help. Even before, just to get it quickly. It'll give him that ability to just like not have to go heal as much. He can stay on the map and just heal with the Bloodstone and just rotate around getting kills, bottling the rune if he he didn't decide to get a bottle this game, but definitely it will help him out.
I mean, honestly, I think at this point VeXx feel a lot more comfortable than they did earlier in that tri-lane. It really seemed like losing the tri-lane was going to be super punishing for them, and the fact that Clockwork wasn't getting much done. But all of a sudden, Clockwork is getting a lot done. Care Bear Dragon
After he got his 6, he started roaming around and just catching up basically, and it's really helping his team.
And GNE has had a very quiet game as Magnus as well. He's had a couple RPs, but they haven't really resulted in that many kills. And he doesn't have Blink is the other thing. And he's not even that close. He needs about 1k more. And right now, they can't find any room for him to farm. Because this lineup is greedy, if they don't control all 3 lanes plus a jungle, I feel like there's just not space for that mag to actually get fat.
Yeah, because you need the top lane and possibly the mid lane, like for the two hard carries. They both need a lot of farm to do something, and they can't share the lane, obviously. And it'd be hard for them to share with Mag, because he really needs that blinking mana boost.
Right.
Or he really won't be able to start fights and set up.
Yeah, and here we go. They use their next tombstone just to get that tower. Nobody gets the last hit, unfortunately, but it's a little bit extra nest egg for UMAD, and Weaver now less than halfway, no, a little more than halfway to his Lincolns, so
Yep,
they're making
it's
progress
about
towards
2,000.
that.
Yeah.
What's up?
Just about 2,000 away from Lincoln, so it should be soon. Just hopefully if they start roaming around, getting maybe
Storm
pick
has
off
it.
a mid tower, it'd
Dang.
definitely be quick soon.
15-minute Bloodstone, not too bad for Storm Spirit. Now, if they continue to actually rack up kills and Storm can get those movable ganks, then that's going to really, really pay off.
Yeah.
What's next
Like
for
right
him? Orchid,
now-
I guess, or?
I think he might go BKB next, or Orchid,
Okay.
definitely. He does
Oh.
need, like, they have a lot of stuns, so
Yeah.
he'll definitely get bursted down if he's caught by just a mag RP.
Oh,
Oh, that's unfortunate.
blocked hook. They wanted to go in, but they just now they
I
have
don't,
no chance.
personally, I just realized that two of their heroes have about 300 HP. I don't know if they could have, if both heroes TP'd to mid when that clock went in, I think they possibly could have turned the fight with RP.
You mad? You mean?
Yes, if the
Yeah.
UMAD, if Alchemist and Gyro both came in when the hook came in, I'm sure other VeXx players would have followed in to help the clockwork,
Right.
but two of the heroes were already at less than half HP.
Yeah, both supports, right? Yeah. That would have been
And they-
scary. So you think it's
Yeah.
a blessing in disguise that they missed the hook?
Possibly, yeah,
Yeah.
honestly.
And UMAD are going really smart standard
Radiant's
items.
bottom
Spitwad, he
tower
got
is
the
under
phase
attack.
drums for really good move speed. That's really going to be critical to try to get away from Gyro. From Weaver. And then
Yeah.
Alchemist, he's going Shadowblade, and he has it now. So
Yep.
I think UMAD, they're honestly feeling somewhat stable as well. The power of the Bloodstone on Storm Spirit hasn't been felt just yet, and they are getting items for their critical heroes. Blink is coming at some point for Magnus too.
Yeah, only 700 away, so hopefully in 5 minutes or less you can
Right.
probably get that, and then it will definitely have a big impact on the game.
Yep. And here we go. VeXx, they know that they have the more aggressive composition, and they want to be aggressive with it if they can. Clockwork trying to set up a hook. He needs better vision, though. They don't know what's what just yet.
Oh,
Masterman, he
Christina.
spots out Strelic. He's actually in Viz room, not smoke, so he makes a great scout. But here's Storm, jumping in on Jahordan. Electric Lasso. Undying throws out a Decay, but the Shadow Blade, they don't have
gonna
detection
deny.
for it, and he walks
Yep.
away. Dust is very late and in the wrong spot. They even use Sleep to try to catch
Oh,
somebody.
They don't, oh, okay, I think they know Lena's there.
They found Strelok. They see him. Lights is going
Oh,
to jump down. They
God.
can't get Alchemist, but they can at least get this Lena. Light Strike Array will miss. Storm Spirit finds the last hit. And that's a critical extra Bloodstone charge. Takes him up to 9. But the nice thing for UMAD... Oh, wait. How the hell did they kill Alchemist?
Alchemist blew himself up, actually. He was stunning up here and then actually suicided around up here.
Oh, wow.
They didn't have any detection to find him when he Shadowbladed, so he was stunning and just
Radiant's
basically
bottom
chose
tower
to either
is
deny
under
himself or
attack.
not risk.
Right. He
going
didn't want
in.
to throw it out and potentially
Yeah.
die. And it's double damage, right? If you stun yourself and die.
Yep.
Actually, I don't really know the hermeneutics of that. Like, if you stun... Like, if you would not die unless it would do double damage, does it still kill you?
Wait, can you repeat that?
So I know that if you deny yourself with the
Uh-huh.
unstable concoction, they'll do double damage to other heroes. It does double to you too, right?
I believe so. I'm not 100%
It's such
sure,
a
though.
weird mechanic. I don't even
Yeah.
understand it.
If he
But
blew himself up, I think it'll hurt enemy heroes that are next to him.
oh, there's the skewer RP on 3!
Oh,
Jahordan, he's
play.
raining down the thunder, and Lena follows it up. She uses her ultimate, call down comes down, and UMAD, if they were at risk of losing a little bit of control with those two deaths, they just got it all back with that huge
Gained it back,
combo.
definitely.
Wow. Sick combo
I think
plays.
This is what they were looking for. They have these heroes that have the wombo combo, and they can just basically go late game, mid game, and feel safe and secure.
Yeah, they have the DD rune for Gyro there too, which is... God, that was a lot of damage. I mean, we know that this is a team that likes playing those big combos. You mentioned it. I know Justin, I'm Famous, was talking to them as well, and they said, like, yeah, we love playing these ult combo lineups. And
Yeah, it's really good because teams that like have this coordination, they could take advantage of that, and these heroes really give them that upper hand.
yeah, they could just pop people so incredibly quickly if they actually land RP and something else. Spitwad's got to be a little bit careful about his jungle here. But
Yeah.
I guess how does Vex... If you're in Vex's shoes here, how do you play against this? Do you just act always when their cooldowns are up, or like when their cooldowns are down, I mean, or is it just a matter of better positioning than that?
It definitely, they should really rely on picking off heroes, getting some offensive wards in their jungle, maybe up on the cliff, maybe one over here, just to like get the good pick-offs so they don't have to get into too many team fights and risk clumping up and just getting a bomb, just,
Right.
you know, dominated, sadly.
And that was such a rough death for Weaver. He has next to no reliable gold because he's only gotten 1 assist and hasn't participated in much of anything else. And he's not any closer to his Lincolns, really, than he was like 4 minutes ago.
Yeah.
What does he go after Lincolns? Just pure
Personally,
damage?
I think he needs a BKB because
Yeah.
they do have too many things that can proc it. Even a homing missile can proc that, and
Yeah.
it's not a big skill to waste. And then they
Yeah.
can just get a stun off, and then he might be dead because he only has he'll have like 900 HP after he gets that orb.
That's a really good point. I always talk about that, like the gyro is so good against Lincoln's heroes because he just like it's not even when it lands on you; it's when he casts it. Oh, clock misses the hook there. That
You have
could've
that
been
long
kills.
range. You can pop his Lincolns before teammates are about to go in, and it'll definitely be wasting the item maybe. And
Right.
he's taking 20 to 5 minutes to farm this item.
Right. I think he's gonna feel like he's probably gonna finish the Lincolns, and then he's still going to feel like he has to go BKB. So it's gonna be the full Lincolns and BKB Weaver by
Radiant's
the end.
bottom tower is under
And
attack.
that
is
does help your
okay.
survivability, no doubt. So.
Yeah. The problem
can
is that
farm
then what's their damage really? It's Storm Spirit.
Exactly. Like Storm Spirit really can't do all that damage because as soon as he runs out of mana, like he's basically useless.
Yeah. I mean, the nice thing will be that we'll have tons of mana because he did get this early Bloodstone, but it's not amassing charges, and we're seeing a little bit of a hole in, I think, what VeXx were going for strategically here.
Yeah.
Because their Storm has amazing regen if he gets kills, but not really the ability to get kills yet, compared to if he went Orchid, where, you know, he wouldn't have good regen, it wouldn't be as snowball-y, but at least he could kill people if he jumped on them.
Yeah. He could just jump in and out, silence them so he doesn't have to worry about getting RP'd or something,
Right.
or the enemy escaping.
And in the absence of Storm, I mean, as we said, the Lincoln's Weaver is not going to be doing that much damage, and Undying is okay at damage over time, Clockwork's okay as damage over time, Naga does next to nothing, so I think VeXx understand this, and that's why you see them suddenly taking this much more passive role.
Yeah.
But I guess the issue with that is they're being passive against Gyro, Alchemist, and Magnus, which is a tough
I
proposition.
think the problem here is that both hard carries for UMAD, both are BKB carries. And since Weaver is rushing these items that are more for survivability, they're not going to have the damage output that they need. Storm is mostly the magic damage. He can grab them, use his remnants. But if he can't really be doing that to the hard carries, I'm not sure what they can do because there won't be anyone to bring them down in the fights.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be really, really tough without Weaver just, like, getting massively, massively farmed. Weaver, I mean, is an amazing single-target hero. Like, once you get something like MKB, or like Dezo, or Dezo and MKB, or Dezo and Rapier, he can do a ton of damage to Gyro and Elk, but it's going to take a while.
Yeah, the nice thing, like I've noticed, like teams that like that the players would farm a little slow on Weaver, they ended up catching up because they would get that MKB or 1 DPS item. It would really help with the Geminate attack.
Yeah.
Gives them that DPS they really need late game.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the end, it's going to rely a lot, like early on we were like, well, as long as Lights is doing well, that's going to be good. But now, after that last team fight, where Alchemist and Gyro have been given a lot of room to operate, and Gyro is 70 gold away from the BKB, I almost feel like the most important hero to watch for VeXx is going to be this Weaver. If he can farm really, really, really well, and get defensive items to survive and some damage to actually deliver the pain to Alk and Gyro, I still think VeXx can definitely win this.
Yeah, they're definitely not out of this yet. I think Weaver really has to prioritize. He has to be there for the team fights, and then as soon as all the enemy team's ults are down, they should take advantage of that and push. And then as soon as they're back up, just try to pick off and farm.
Right.
And just choose the battles they really need.
Yeah. Anything about could the Naga Siren become a factor if it goes really late? Like, if they start allocating some farm to her?
The one thing I find that's really not great with the Naga pick is that they don't have another hero that can really combo well with it. Like, it is great for team fights, you can set up, but the problem is...
a little shout out to you there.
A little throwing me off there, but what I'm saying is they do need like some kind of AoEs to go and complement that Naga ult.
Right. So, yeah, I totally agree with you. I guess the one thing is Tombstone will continue spawning zombies if you're slept.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of a combo.
But the thing is with that, though, if Gyro, as soon as he's waking up, all those zombies are going to die to flak probably.
Sure.
And then there's no slow or anything really.
That's a good point. Yeah, I don't know. I do feel that part of their lineup is pulling into this like really aggressive, we want to just beat down on a team early composition. But then I just the way that they've approached the Weaver and the fact that the Weaver has had such a tough time in lane and then in this mid game is pulling away from that to already at 20 minutes we kind of don't have the damage to actually chew through UMAT. And
Exactly.
so VeXx are caught between a rock and a hard place, kind of.
And I just realized Gyro's only 80 gold away from BKB, so that's definitely going to be a problem, having a 10-second BKB on your hands.
Yeah. Especially, yeah, I mean, Storm, he can jump in, but then if Gyro just pops BKB, he just has to jump right back out.
Exactly. And then that's a lot of mana wasted, and then that's something he can't go like on another hero to help his team.
Right. And they have some stuns, but a lot of their disables are soft, so like Cogs keeps you in place, and Tango keeps you in place, but neither of those things prevent you from BKBing. Only Lasso and Hook will do that.
Yeah, they can wait actually, like they can bait it out, like honestly they can just wait to use that BKB and bait the heroes on them, make them waste their mana, make them hook into them or anything really.
Yeah. So yeah, UMAD, definitely feeling confident. There was a moment there where it seemed possibly iffy, but now they're feeling a lot more comfortable. Alchemist Jahorden, he's begun his Assault Cuirass. He's already about a third of the way there with the Hyperstone being delivered for the attack speed. And Spitwad, his BKB is complete. He's just going to go to the fountain to claim it. Spitwad, weirdly enough, he's 0-2-0, even though I feel like I've seen him at a lot of the fights. That's a little odd. Huh. Okay. But, I mean, it doesn't really matter that much, because honestly he's farming quite well. 123.
Yeah, exactly.
Last
Yeah, he's doing fine. I mean, he has no contested farm really. Like, his team's providing him safety. Like, they will definitely back him up, I'm sure, if he's jumped on.
Yeah, and
So
VeXx,
he's feeling pretty good.
they're going to push. They feel like they should push. They feel like they have to push. They are trying to maintain as much control of the game as possible. There's the Tombstone. So now they are somewhat committed. Light's meanwhile working around the fringe. I just heard him partially ball lightning over. Still at basically full man. That's the nice thing about the Bloodstone. But they're just going to lose the Tombstone, it looks like. And that's going to be a little bit of gold to Rubik. And the push deflected. Tower still out of deny range. And Magnus, yeah, you're right. Finally.
Honestly, I really think right now that if VeXx decides to stay mid, they can definitely take this fight with the Mag Blink. They probably don't know he has it, so he can definitely have that surprise attack that will definitely be a really good factor in the next team fight.
That's true. They have not seen the blink, so we definitely have to keep an eye on that. It looks like they're backing off as Storm Spirit is definitely not participating in this. He's just farmed now at about 2.2k gold, and he's still the most farmed person on the map. I mean, this is still a pretty scary Storm Spirit. The only downside being, yeah, as UMAT amasses BKBs, he's going to have more and more trouble, and you're going to wish you were playing 6.6 whatever Storm, so you could just attack speed people to death.
I think Storm might be going Sheep now. They realize that they do need something to disable them, so they can't BKB, and Sheep definitely provides that.
Sheep's going to be really good, too, I think, because Jahorden is making the entire Cuirass before he actually goes to the BKB, so they have a little bit of time. I suspect... Ooh, I don't know. He does have plate mail, so he's about two-thirds of the way there.
They're like all so clumped up soon. Like I think Matt can just go in on that.
Yeah.
Just fall down.
It's really delicate. The
no,
bugs will hit.
Bugs.
That's a huge deal. Strelok is disabled. He's inside the cogs. Lifts up. Nice light trickery, but GNE, he might not be able to RP. He goes down 2 for 0. Here's Jahorden in the fray. Throws out the unstable. Only hits Undying, but Masterman is right. Oh, he completely loses the Song of the Siren, because the acid spray was just too strong, and Spitwad's BKB coming into play. Care Bear Dragon now trying to get out of the fight, 2 for 2 so far, but the Rocket Barrage and Fade Bolt's enough to pick him off. And Lights, he's joined the back of the fight. Can he get Spitwad? That would be huge. BKB is down. Spitwad dies in the Electric Lasso. Amon meanwhile continuing to kite, but 9006, they'll take him down. By the way, that's insane that if Rubik uses the ultimate, he turns into a little Undying.
Personally, I think that was really bad. Alk was trying to just trying to go for that chick, and it was just juking him, and he just left his teammates to get jumped on.
Yeah, is that where he went? He just went for the courier?
Yeah, he went kind of down into the jungle, and the chick was like, it looked like it was being like controlled by 2 different people, honestly. They were like trying to struggle to get it, like to go.
Maybe they shared
Alk
control.
is so confused to like which way to run for it.
Right. But yeah, Jahorden, after such a good entry into that fight, he basically picked up a double with that unstable concoction and the really well-placed acid spray, but then he just leaves the fight, I guess, to go for a courier, and in the meantime, exactly what you don't want to happen happens, which is that Storm Spirit gets to the fight after BKB is done, and there's no danger of him getting RP'd. And so Storm, now 13 charges of Bloodstone, and he's really close to Sheep.
Yeah. give it probably another 5 minutes, and I'm sure, like, without getting ganked, I'm sure he'll have it, and it'll definitely help for the team fights, and it's something they really need right now.
Yeah, that was honestly VeXx. The one thing, to me, the biggest thing in that fight was when GNE threw out a shockwave, they knew where he was, and they put the Weaver bugs on him.
Yeah,
and all of a sudden
that
he
was
couldn't
very
blink.
bad. The Weaver definitely helped them out a lot that fight. Mag couldn't just go into all the cluster and just get them all grouped up.
Yeah, I mean, VeXx, really, really good fight, honestly.
Yeah.
The fact is, even, like, they didn't really get, like, a big advantage in terms of kills. Like, they only got one more kill out of that than UMAD did. But just being able to hang on through a fight like that and give your Weaver space, because neither Weaver nor Storm died, that's a huge deal. Is this BKB for Weaver, or do you think maybe Dezo, or...?
Let's see. Weaver might realize he needs that damage output, and Deso is a very good item against Alk, especially before he gets an AC, because he really lacks that armor.
Yeah, although he's pretty close, I think. Yeah, that's the rest of it being delivered right now.
Yep.
But at least it'll cancel the caress. Actually, it's 7 now, right, on Dezo? They changed it?
I think so.
Let's look at that. Dezo, I think it used to be 6. Yeah, it's 7. So it'll actually reduce him by 2, even after the AC is factored in.
It definitely helps, though. And plus, for the other heroes, it'll definitely hurt. You have a decay on them, and just hitting them with Deso and the Geminate will definitely hurt.
Yeah. There's some
Hopefully be
split
able to
push as
stop.
well, which might be nice for them, with Naga and Storm. Sorry, with Naga and Weaver. Now they're trying to steal the Ancients, and this is actually a really gutsy play. I don't know if VeXx realized that UMAD are all here.
Yeah.
Magnus could jump down. They see GNE. They plant the Sentry Ward. Care Bear Dragon wants to turn it around, but this position is so incredibly delicate for them. They know where Magnus is. Maybe they could hook. No, they decide to back off. That was a pretty tight spot there for kind of both teams.
Yeah, the problem for them is they really don't have the DPS to kill an Ancient stack before the enemy team can get all grouped together and start a fight with that RP.
And the fact is that UMAD, they've got these really good scaling heroes. They've got the Alchemist, they've got the Gyro, and they're getting farm. Gyro just started his MKB, so he's delivering over the first Javelin for it right now. And Alchemist, he's done with his Assault Cuirass. If he wants to go towards a BKB, now's the time to do it. And VeXx, they're still trying to find opportunities. Rocket Flare comes through. They see Strelok. Lights is chasing. He needs to throw out the lasso. He actually gets Light Striker Raid, so this might be stopped right in his tracks. Lifted up. Laguna Blade. Storm Spirit in so much trouble. The call down. They have to use Song of the Siren to try to disengage, but they've already put down a Tombstone. And Spitwad is just running through. This couldn't go any worse for VeXx. There's the Unstable Concoction. They lose 2, including Storm Spirit, and they're forced to just flee. That missed opportunity on the Lina, just being slightly out of position and not using the Vortex, that cost Storm a lot.
That Storm, too, he was just like, he didn't really want to waste all his mana, but it would have been worth it because he was like a centimeter off from the second call-down rocket, which got him.
Wow. So UMAD, that's a huge win for them, I feel, because they get the monkey off their back a little bit. They give Jahordan more space. Spitwad lives. Sure, he uses BKB, but it's well worth it to land that kill on Storm. What's VeXx's game plan now that they lost Tier 1, they lose control of their jungle? Is it still just, you gotta put it on Weaver?
That definitely is a big issue, because now they're going to lose the map control, and Alk with the Shadow Blade and the Mag, and all these mobile heroes can definitely take advantage of that. And plus, it'll limit their farm that they desperately need.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it all keeps coming back to the Weaver. He's got to do well. He's got to be able to... If he's going to go Dezo, go Dezo. Oh, they dust him, but they can't catch him. It's pretty tough to catch a Weaver.
Yeah.
I actually hate the fact that Dust doesn't really do anything against Weaver.
Yeah, it's like that 10% slow ain't nothing.
Well, the thing is, it doesn't, like... If it was 10% after movement speed buffs, I would love it.
Yeah, yeah.
But the friggin' Shikuchi overwrites it.
Yeah, Weaver says what's slow, yo.
Yeah, I hate that. Jahordan, he's coming to the point in which he has to decide his next item. I still think it's probably going to be BKB. He's got 1800.
Yeah, he's starting to tank up. He got his strength threads. He realizes that they're starting to do some damage, and he really can't just stand there and tank it.
Yeah. Weaver, for his part, he's going to go Treads, so it gives him a little bit of tank, a little bit of move speed. Not committing to BKB versus Dezo just yet. Going to probably see how the game shakes out before he makes that decision. But Magnus...
Maybe...
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, maybe if they get a good few pickoffs, he can decide to go Deso, realizes maybe he can push off the BKB,
right.
But it's really all situational.
Yeah, and the issue for me is UMAD is just amassing stuff. They don't have a mechanism just yet, but the Rubik will have a 4-stack, which is very, very good for positioning. I suspect that means it falls to Lina to eventually make the mechanism, but he's banking 1600, so maybe Blink? I don't know. This is a lot to bank on Lina.
Yeah.
Ghost Scepter, I guess?
They could go Yules just for this easy setup with the stun. He could go Blink.
That's a lot of money.
Maybe he might even want just the casual Ghost Scepter so he can't get just jumped on by Weaver and Storm.
Right.
Oh, so he bought the Ghost Scepter.
Alright, that's a pretty neat pickup. This is the nice thing, UMAD, their supports are pretty well, like, itemized. So Rubik has this 4-staff basically in 500. Lina has the Ghost Scepter. I mean, Undying is making mech, so that's fantastic. Andy has a casual cloak. But you look at Naga. Naga's got nothing. She's holding on to arcade boots and nothing else.
Yeah, 0-3-4. I mean, it sucks. They're really not getting, like, I assume they wanted that Naga for maybe bigger team fights or something, but they're just not getting it.
Yeah. Nice thing is, Lights does have his scythe, so he has,
Yeah.
I'm not going to say infinite mana, but it's damn near infinite. With,
Like,
the
honestly, he
Bloodstone.
won't have to go heal, like, for a while, for mana at least, unless
Yeah.
he literally drains it all.
Yeah, he's pretty enormous, but the issue is, as well as the Storm Spirit has done, they haven't made too much of it. He hasn't really been able to have the impact that you'd expect from such a fast
Yeah,
Bloodstone.
he's been at the same Bloodstone charges the past 10 minutes.
There is
Oh,
a
here we
very
go.
nice jump in. Lights, he electric lassos onto GNE. Magnus lockdown so far, but he's still going to land the RP on Euphorus and Care Bear Dragon. They get popped by the double kill off the unstable concoction. Nagasarin attempting to disengage while Lights and 9006 still try to make something happen, but the damage isn't there. Not just yet. He'll chase GNE under the tier 2 tower. Lights picks up the last hit. Here comes Jahordan. Gonna get ready to throw out the concoction. He throws it on Weaver. Lights will escape. So will Weaver. Wow.
He's probably like, oh shit.
But Spitwad manages to find a kill. He just chases down that Naga Siren to the ends of the earth. And actually, that's a pretty big kill because that finishes his MKB. So, 3 for 3, but who wins that fight, actually? I don't even know.
I would say UMAD. Both carries survived and they benefited a lot from that team fight. It was good though. Storm did survive. He did get to TP away.
Oh my god, what a jump in. He scythes Spitwad. He's dealing the damage. It might be enough. Static Remnant comes through. One more hit.
That was
Dang.
very good.
Wow.
Now they can definitely cause some pressure. They know RP's down. They know Alk without the BKB, he can't stand in front as well as a gyro, so they
Right.
might try to take advantage of this.
He's making heart on the Alchemist, by the way.
Yeah.
That's okay.
It's
I mean,
honestly, it is a good build. It gives
Yeah.
him that tankiness. And
It's gonna be
maybe-
hard for Weaver to kill a heart Alch.
And maybe he does realize that BKB really not needed. They have a lot of physical DPS.
Right. Yeah, perhaps. Alright. They're going to go for this Roche. VeXx, it's going to take a while to actually kill this. They have next to no damage. Care Bear Dragon is so low. They have to get the hell out of here or they're going to be in a tremendous amount of
They
trouble.
don't have the DPS. They do need that Weaver.
Yeah, they need Weaver. They need him to have his Desolator. I think it's almost done. Yeah, it's only 200
250
away.
about, yeah.
Yeah.
150.
But, yeah, that's scary. If you give up a Roche like that, the fact is, they're going to kill it a lot faster than you are. They've got Acid Spray. Acid Spray is amazing for Roche.
And the problem is now, like, they're waiting, and everyone has their ult up now, and if they cluster into that Roche pit without a Naga sleep, they really can't take that fight.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really tough, but we'll have to see how they manage to do it. Desolator will be up on Weaver really soon, but Reaver's pretty close for Alchemist as well, and of course Gyro. Spitwad did a really good job of buying out just before he died, so he lost almost no gold because he finished his MKB.
Alk almost has heart. Give it a few more minutes and he'll definitely have that, and it'll definitely help him out.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really tight and tense. I mean, VeXx, they still have a lot of spells that can be useful. At the end of the day, I mean, I hate to say it, but, like, Naga is not really a factor this game. And Undying, it's okay, but he's going to get dropped really quickly. He's mostly going to be a walking mechanism when he finishes that. To me, this is going to be about VeXx's cores and whether Weaver can amass enough damage to chew through people.
If they really can get that Gyro or Alk out in the beginning of a team fight, or even before, then they do have that chance to take the team fights.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And UMAD, they want to start setting up some good team fights themselves. They know that they have the combo. They know that they have the cooldowns. Spitwad runs straight into Euphorus. Here he is. He's lifted up. He might not get the tombstone off. He does it. He only casts ultimate. Call down getting thrown out. And I don't think that, VeXx, they know they can't take this fight.
Yeah.
Without tombstone alive, without something coming from the Undying, there's no way. Nice job by UMAD, although they only get one from the smoke, but better than nothing.
It was definitely worth it, yeah. And now they get to secure Roche, actually, so
Undying, no buyback.
It was a good fight for them.
Yeah, they're straight into the pit. This is probably Aegis and Heart. Right
And
here.
honestly, there's really, I don't see what they can do. They don't have the Undying nearby. And
Yeah.
even if they do get the Naga sleep off, I don't know. They have too many wombo combos to
There's a
like
big
get
loss.
them when they finally get next to them.
Yeah, maybe the thing about sleep is if they try to do the sleep Roche steal, I'm sure that Spitwad is going to use his BKB
Yeah.
just before Roche does.
Yeah, and honestly, like I'm sure they might try to KS the Roche, like steal the Aegis, but you have to be very quick with that. Like
Yeah.
as soon as you see the writing, you hit your ult, and just
Yeah.
hope Gyro didn't BKB or anything.
They do
You
have
can
Claw,
steal
so
Aegis.
the cool thing is for VeXx, even if they get dewarded, they have great pit vision. Like they have Flare, they have the Swarm, like they have and they can have Storm jump in and jump out.
Yeah,
if
they have the Remnant too. Like they can,
Yeah.
if Storm can just somehow get around here without getting spotted, he can just put a Remnant down.
He jumps in on
it's
Strelok.
going
This is
on
a great kill if they can get it, but he doesn't
that
feel
Invis
comfortable.
rune.
Invis rune. Oh man, that Invis rune
Game
is huge.
saving. We'll see. Maybe he can be like that big Korok player, steal the Aegis.
Maybe. Those are
That'll
pretty big
definitely
Korok
help
steals.
them very much.
Yeah. If they can steal the Aegis out from under UMAD, it's going to be a tremendous impact. I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to go on Gyro, I think, almost certainly, because Alchemist, after he hits Heart, what's the point, right?
Yeah, Alk realized like he's pretty buff. Like he'll have at least 3k HP with chemical. So
Yeah. And my concern is still just that there's space developing. Like, you could just see that duel that Weaver and Gyro just had. Oh, here comes Storm Spirit, but he runs out of
no
mana.
mana.
Spitwad,
Weaver's
he's in his
smart.
sheep
Oh,
form, but he's gonna
yeah.
BKB and TP out. Is there
Come
enough
on.
damage? There isn't! Ouch. So close.
I think that was just a lack of communication. Like if maybe the Storm just told Weaver like he's gonna ball in from across like half the map, like,
Right.
maybe he would have started running closer.
Yeah, where was Weaver for that second half
Yeah.
of that fight?
He was probably. I think he was honestly just CSing. Like he wasn't really
Yeah.
aware that Storm would jump that far.
And they gave up Roche from that attack.
Yeah, that's definitely not a good thing.
Ouch. I can't
Like
believe
they
Spitwad
know they
did.
have these wards, so I'm sure they realized that one of them, or maybe not. Al could have Shadowbladed in, but
Still.
that's definitely not gonna.
Yeah,
won't
if they
help.
get Gyro, maybe they feel like they can start rotating and doing stuff, but they don't get Gyrocopter. Spitwad lives. Well played to him, honestly. Really good presence of mind. His BKB TP's his only way to get out of there, and he did it. And, ouch, VeXx. They miss a big opportunity, and yeah, I gotta say, it's probably miscommunication, like you said.
And now, honestly, like they have a smoke on the Gyro. I'm sure Alk's just gonna push this wave out, and ooh, this that would suck as soon as they smoked that rocket, popped it, and saw. But lucky for them, they did wait a little bit. So maybe now they might pop the smoke. They might wait a little bit. I don't know.
They want to keep setting
they-
up these combos if they can. Interesting that Gyro's carrying the smoke. Not every day you see that. But
Yeah.
4 staff available for Rubik. Lena's doing okay as well. 800 gold on top of the Ghost Scepter. And I think UMAD's starting to feel pretty confident, especially after
Yeah.
2.5k HP on the Alchemist, 19 armor, and Aegis. How does Weaver kill that? He doesn't, I guess.
I don't know. It's gonna be extremely hard. They can't take all their time to kill that Elk because they'll basically just get shot down by the Gyro
Right.
and other supports, honestly.
And even Gyro has 1765
Yeah.
BKB and the
Exactly.
armor bonus from Chris.
Just the only physical damage really coming out is the Weaver. Like
Right.
Storm does hurt, but honestly against an Elk or Gyro BKB or just tanky Elk, it's not gonna do as much.
And Weaver has not been able to really keep up. He's at 189 last hits, he was doing fine, but his GPM isn't that great. It's quite a bit under where Spitwad's is, so Spitwad just does more right now. And the Weaver's gonna need to, they gave up the tower, I don't think they had much of a choice at all. And Stable Concoction actually hits on Care Bear
Oh, looks like they want to stop the Storm.
Yeah,
Alright.
Storm trying to split push,
Oh.
but he sights! Spitwad actually in a little bit of trouble.
Coming
He
in,
uses the
he's
last one, he's
stunning,
gotta get
yeah.
out though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely can't overextend that. Who knows if the Elk was charging a stun or anything. There's the tower.
Dyer's top
Tower
has
deny
been
is really, really nice. Again, they want to just slow down the Weaver, and they're doing a
Yeah.
great job.
Yeah, definitely. If Weaver, like, they don't really have the map control right now, and maybe now, like, they have a little bit of time to farm the jungle as Dyer's all up in the top of the map, but they're really not getting the farm they need to just stay close to the Dyer team.
Yeah, Storm is still farming really well. He's still pretty close in net worth to an Alchemist that has had Groodle's Greed forever, but... Yeah, what do you do as VeXx here? Is the plan to just split push down? I mean, Storm can push out pretty fast and get
They
out.
can try to split push, but the problem is I don't know if they can keep up.
Right.
Honestly, like Alk and Gyro will melt towers,
Yeah. That's
and
definitely
they
true.
really can't afford to have multiple heroes like trying to split push.
Yeah, you're completely right. I mean, Weaver does have that Dezo to try to kill towers fast, but Cuirass is also
Yeah.
pretty good when you're beating on towers, and This Alchemist is now officially 100% scary, because he's got Basher, Heart, Cuirass, Shadowblade,
Up
and...
comes the smoke.
Yep. They pop it.
Well.
I mean, UMAD, they've gotten good use out of these smokes, but, like, they haven't really gotten that huge team fight since the mid-game, so they could be winning by even more than they are, and I think that's what they're pursuing here.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is, like, I've noticed, like, for the past, like, 10, 15 minutes, they've been doing the 5-man Dota, and really, like, that really counters the VeXx lineup. They have a bunch of pickoff heroes, and if they're all clumped together team fighting, there's really nothing VeXx can do to pick them off and get that gold they need from team fights.
And here comes trouble. They're looping around. There's the 4-step in from Rubik. Telekinesis. Fate Bolt as well. Light Strike will miss. Nice hook shot, actually, and Tombstone's in a very safe spot. But Laguna will finish the Rubik's life. And they're not done. UMAD want to keep chasing, although BKB runs out, and Jahordan self-stuns, and they miss the fish. So only a clockwork kill. But it's like a message to VeXx that you have no map control. Oh, aim on her! He gets picked off by Lights, and that's a good pick-off. Yeah. He stuns himself again, by the way, Jahordan.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Yeah, he's trying to. I think he was just like trying to help the Rubik, but he knew like there was no way.
Yeah.
Just be safe. Don't go in and stun yourself next to a Storm and Weaver.
Right. And Weaver is building up a little bit of a nest egg. I mean, he's got 3.2k gold. Yeah. I don't think at this point he can go BKB even if he wants to.
I think, honestly, it's a hard. We'll see him probably pick up the Reaver right now. He's at, yep.
Spitwad. He still has, he used so much of his mana here. He does get the scythe. There's the Vortex. Is it enough? Maybe it is.
Coming in.
He's going to get it, I think, even with the call down. Lights, that was a critical kill.
Yeah, that was very well played. Definitely a good pickoff that they need.
Dang. How did he even do that? It felt like he wouldn't have enough mana, but I guess his pool is 2.5k.
I don't know. That Bloodstone Shiva's definitely giving him that mana pool he really needs now.
Yeah. Spitwad does have buyback, but I think he's probably going to save it because he can't push off that.
Maybe he'll use it like if they start getting closer, just like to tempt them to back up then. But he knows that his team can probably defend without him.
Yeah.
And
you were starting to talk about Heart Weaver. Tell me more about it.
Honestly, like I remember back in the day, a lot of people would like love going like Radiance Heart on Weaver. Gives you that tank ability. You can just keep running around. It's basically like, you know, like when you verse a Slark or something, he can just run out of the fight, heal up, and just come back in. And that's what this art does give Weaver. Like he can run out with Sakuchi, heal up, and then just come right back in to help his teammates. Yeah,
that's definitely a good point. I guess Gyro deals so much burst damage too that you want to be able to depart the fight and get an extra life. But I guess he probably won't go Radiance. There's like no benefit from here.
Like really, Heart, maybe Crit are the best items he can go for. Butterfly won't really do it for him. Gyro has the MKB, so.
And Alchemist can probably buy one if he really wants to.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think Crit will probably be the next destination. I've also seen in TI3 there were some Weaver Bashers, which is not a terrible idea, but his attack speed isn't going to be great.
It's pretty good, honestly. Like especially if they go that Abyssal, it gives you that disable you need.
Yeah. That might not be the worst thing against Gyrocopter. Spitwad has used pretty much every instance of the BKB. It's down to 5 seconds. So an Abyssal would take out 40% of his BKB time, and then Scythe after that. You could at least deal with Spitwad. The problem is they have Spitwad and Jahordan.
And then basically that whole time, Elk is just wailing on you, has that Empower. Oh, it's going to hurt.
It definitely will. Do you think we'll actually see a fight before next Roshan? I guess only if UMAD takes one.
I think they maybe now realize that the ages might have expired if they wrote down the Roche timer. So maybe they think they can do something, but it looks like both teams are going to be a little bit more passive until the Roche is back, and then they'll try to make a play.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Lights has been playing his heart out on this Stone Spirit. Like, he's 8-1-4. That's an insane record. And, I mean, as much as we criticize the Bloodstone, it has given him insane sustain. He has maintained net worth parity the whole game with a friggin' Alchemist. Like, that's pretty intense.
That's insane. Like, it's a Greevil's Greed Alchemist already at 45 minutes. Like, he's definitely doing this role very well.
And I guess the question is how much water can Storm carry? How much can he take the team on his back?
Well, right now he has the gem, so he can just constantly keep killing the Alchemist, the Gyro. Like, if he has like one more to help him, I'm sure they can maybe pull it off because they don't have that BKB on the Alch. So maybe they can pick him off.
So what's next for Storm? BKB?
Personally, I think I would go BKB. Maybe. You can go Skady if you want the mana pool, but I think BKB would definitely help them out. He could just go up in the fight and not have to worry about getting
Sure.
Just the stun. Only really have to worry about the mag.
Yeah, I guess the interesting thing about the Scotty idea is at least it gives you some auto attack prowess, but since Alchemist decided not to go BKB, he's probably less, I guess he's probably less worried about being a second auto attacker and more just, yeah.
Like, it's really limited what Storm can go, and I'm sure, like, whatever he chooses to go will really affect how this game plays out.
Maelstrom, Mjolnir.
Yeah.
Put,
Dude, I remember.
Put Lightning Shield on the Weaver and just go to town, IMO.
Yeah, exactly. Get like a Daedalus or something for that overcharge.
Oh, I just remembered. I was talking to somebody at TI3 and they were proposing some TI5 meta, and they were talking about Blade Storm. That's actually not the worst thing in the world. If you can Blade on your way in, you can do a lot of damage.
You can hurt them. Yeah, if they, like you can Blade them before that roll, like the ball hits them. It'll hurt like shit.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like like using half your mana pool to get to them.
I actually think that's not as much of a joke as that is. That could actually be sick this game because Alchemist hasn't gone BKB, so you turn off his auto attack and you do like a 1k damage to him.
Yeah. Plus they have that right click. Like it'll really help. Like if he's getting like shot out by the Alch or something. Like you can turn on that. Plus the stuns won't do damage to him since it's a physical damage.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Maybe
so
he wants
can I
a
say that this
Linken's.
build should be approved then?
Yeah, maybe.
Alright. So they deflect the siege. UMAD, I think they wanted to see, you know, test the metal of VeXx at being able to defend their high ground, but VeXx availed themselves pretty well, I feel. Actually, will Spitwad be caught again? He gets Scythe, lights us right on top of him. There's the Shivas. Perfect chain with the Electric Vortex. He's so low. He gets him. Oh my god. I was just about to comment on how good their wards are and how good their vision is, and they used it. Oh my god. After UMAD scatters. Dang.
It's good they have this ward here, like they'll know if someone's farming the jungle and they can definitely take advantage of that. I think one thing maybe they should have really focused on was trying to block this camp. Like it's definitely like if they luckily for them they weren't stacking as much, but it's definitely a factor in these games if you can stack the ancients for your carries.
Absolutely. I think both teams just never felt like they had quite enough map control to farm the ancients that heavily. Because yeah, it's been a very quiet ancient game, especially for the Alch Gyro team. But here we go. They want Roche. They use the Riptide. I don't think Riptide works on Roche. Yeah, it doesn't. So they have nothing in terms of being able to kill this quickly except for Storm's damage. So that's the thing. This takes friggin' forever. They need Medallion or something. Okay, finally Desolator.
Really get the Weaver in there to just get it down.
Now that Weaver's here, Roche will be chewed through pretty quickly. He only has one effective armor. Here's Storm, high ground, static remnant, excellent for vision. They want to get this as quickly as they can because here comes UMAD. If the Magnus blinks in, he's invis. No, Storm gets the Aegis.
Oh, here we go on the mag. Oh, he didn't know the mag was there right away.
Oh man, he's lifted up. Will they use RP? They probably can't afford to. He still wants Strelok. Nice Ghost Scepter, but they're picking them apart. GNE is in trouble. They finally get the Source Spirit up high ground, but he uses his RP for almost nothing, only to keep himself alive. Meanwhile, Jahorden does hit the Godlike streak. Don't forget about Gyro and Alchemist. They're big. Lena has bought back. Spitwad, dueling 9006. He hasn't used Time Lapse yet. Euphorus, meanwhile, chain bashed by Jahorden. Lights is quite low. He's almost completely out of mana and health. Spitwad is alive. He's still living through this, but here comes Lights after the Aegis. Will he jump? Will he jump all the way to Fountain? He gets GNE. Will he get... No, he doesn't get the Magnus yet. He does get Magnus in the Fountain. 4 are down beyond Godlike streak, and we were wondering.
I don't know. That Alch in the heart. I don't think he can do that 1,300 damage.
Oh, I don't know. It doesn't matter, because if he pushes him into Fountain, I think they're out of buybacks.
Yeah.
Gyro doesn't have buyback. He does have buyback, okay.
They forced at least 2 buybacks, and now they're pressuring racks. So.
This is insane. They've gotten the tier 3. There's the hook shot just to stun him, I think, and the cogs to miss position. Here's the stun coming from Jahorden. It hits 2 and it hits 3. Care Bear Dragon going down. Spitwad Black Cannoning through. Did they overextend? They lose 2. They don't get the racks.
I think after the, I don't know, that hook in, like Cockwork, like, I don't know, they should have maybe just backed off with that.
Yeah. They thought that they could racks.
They can turn it.
Wow. I mean, if they had been able to racks, that would be like the advantage that they needed, because otherwise this is still like a game that they're kind of losing in. But
well, the good thing is now they know that Fortify's down for the next 5 minutes, so and they know that RP down, they can maybe make a team fight. They know the BKB's really low on the Gyro.
Sure, although RP only down for 10 more seconds. And Magnus is close to BKB.
Yeah. Oh, so I guess Storm. Yeah, I remember I played against Lights before, and he did like going that Skady on his Storm. So looks like that's what he's doing now.
Yeah, I mean, there's no. Oh, yep. There's full Scotty and still has 2.3k. And as more BKBs keep getting added on, this might not be the worst thing in the world. The one thing is, Spitwad is making Butterfly, and I actually think that's really smart.
I was gonna say I was hoping he would make an MKB, but then when I looked, he already had the point booster.
Right. Yeah, I almost think MKB could have been a bigger deal for Storm here.
Yeah, it hurts. Like especially you get the procs with your overcharge, it's gonna hurt.
Right. And the other huge thing is, Jahordan lived. He's got 4k plus a full inventory except for TP, so he still has room for one more item, and he's got the full Abyssal Blade, and that's going to be a huge deal, because Storm Spirit did use his Aegis for that fight, and they didn't get a Rax.
If Storm accidentally doesn't wall quick enough or disable that out quick enough, and he gets Abyssal, it can definitely hurt him.
It could be a dead Storm. Now, the nice thing is, he's maxed on stacks, so he's going to be instant respawn. Oh no, he's not maxed, but he's close. He's really close to max stacks.
Definitely, looks like UMAD definitely want to start pressure the bottom racks. They know Storm's up top. He's TPing back now though.
There is one buyback available in this entire game right now, and it's the Alchemist.
I think they do feel confident. They're going to let the Alch probably sit in front. He has the heart and the Abyssal Blade, so he can tank up. And they're just going to let them all crowd on the Alch and this mag.
Lifted. Here comes Lights. He's in the back. He sheeps GNE. The hook shot. It lands on Jahordan. The team fight is very, very split. Rubik is already down. Mag is trying to come in and get an RP. Euphorus is dueling very effectively. It looks like Jahordan may go down. He's almost certainly going to buy back. But Spitwad, now he's in trouble. And they defend. They clear out 5. Oh my god. This is an insane game. That was
very surprising, too. I did not see that coming, but that was an amazing team fight for them.
I feel like that team fight was all positioning.
Yeah, that was, honestly. That was very good for them. They did everything they needed to do there.
Yeah, I mean, was it just the fact that... Do you think it was a mistake in the end to keep Jahordan on the high ground, else on the low ground?
I think after they realized that that mag got jumped on, they maybe should have played a little bit more careful. Because honestly, mag, they were baiting that RP, I think, and they wanted Heroes to cluster on that Elk. Knowing he can take damage for a little while, so people might get more greedy and just not think about that mag kind of gonna come in on them.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the case, and just the Cogs positioning and the Undying living as long as he did and managing to... He's stuck so close to the Alchemist, everybody forgets about that Flesh Golem, but like, that's a pretty good damage amp. Like, he was giving 25% more incoming damage to Elk.
Yeah, I think one problem here is this Elk isn't buying back. Like, it will like cause them to maybe rethink to keep raxing, but I don't know.
It's two sets of racks. I mean, he won't have to buy back at this point because there's no way they'll lose 3 sets of racks.
He waited out. He told himself like, yeah, I'm just gonna wait till my respawn, save that gold.
I mean, Spitwad couldn't buy back, and without both of them, I feel like they don't have enough.
Yeah, maybe I think Al can honestly, he can just go travel and then just get one bigger item, and then maybe they can do it. But right now the pressure's on. Like, they're gonna have to worry about these lanes pushing in.
Is it Desperapier time for Alchemist? I don't know.
Could be, honestly. Like, just one problem is if he loses that, I don't know.
If he loses, they lose, but they're damn close to losing as is. I mean, the only reason they couldn't go for tier 3 there is their friggin' tier 2 bot is still up.
Yeah, that is a problem.
And what's our Roche status? It looks like we actually have a while yet, so
yeah,
about 4.5
more minutes
still.
The next Roche fight. And that could be game-changing, honestly. For all we know, either UMAD could get the upper hand, take the Roche, or a Storm could come in there, steal it, and it'll really screw them over.
It's a cheese, too, so...
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I guess the issue is UMAD, I think if they could get Aegis and cheese, they can win straight up, in my opinion, because Gyro and Alchemist will just deal so much damage if they're safe. The problem is they're up against a team that has literally 4 ways of stealing Roche from you. They can Shukachi in and steal it, they can Naga Sleep, they can Storm, they can Clock. Every one of these heroes except Undying can take your Roche.
Yeah, they have to be on their toes. They need some defensive wards to know where the enemy is so they can expect where they're jumping in from.
And yeah, now that they have these Raxes, this is such an enormous deal, because now UMAD are almost perpetually on the back foot. Now, their tier 4s are not in danger. I mean, either Alchemist or Gyrocopter can clear these waves extremely quickly, and Alchemist can even make good money doing so, although we're reaching the point at which money in Alchemist matters a little bit less.
Yeah. As soon as he gets that last core item and just saves an upper buyback, he's good to go.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of how this game ends up going in the end, I think I've answered my own question of how much can Storm carry. Storm can carry a hell of a lot.
Yeah, he's a great hero. Oh, here we go. Looks like
we go. Light Texture flat out up top. They're going to RP. He's stunned out. Light Strike Array, Laguna Blade, and he's still alive, but they've got him! They get him. He immediately comes back without even having to buy back. And the problem is, Megas are impending. Weaver, they use their fortification. This is a desperate situation. The Storm Spirit is already back. This is the last hope. They don't have RP. Magnus is down. Spitwad's in trouble. Lights is locked down. They're getting great CC. But the Song of the Siren at a very weird time. They're beating on Spitwad. He's in trouble. He needs to buy back if he can. Does he have the cooldown? He does. He's back. 9006 now in a little bit of trouble. Most of the heroes still up, but Euphoria and so 9006, they're beating on the last set of racks, and that puts UMAT in the unenviable position of having to do an all-in throne push as Jahordan. They do actually manage to get the Weaver down. They probably get Euphorus as well, but Spitwad is again in trouble. He's getting beat on so heavily. 9006 bought back and used the time-lapse trip, and now Amona is in trouble. Everybody's down. Jahordan is the last hope. Maybe they can get Lights at least. He manages to make it out with Ball Lightning. Jahordan doesn't know who to go on, and I think Alchemist, he's the last bulwark. He's their absolute last hope, and can they even do a all-in push?
Dude, honestly, like, it was very smart. Like, I saw the Storm, he had 25 Bloodstone charges, and that's an instant respawn. So he knew he can go up top and just draw all the attention, and he did that very successfully. Mag RP'd him, they took like at least 10 to 15 seconds to kill him, and that was the first tower. Ended up being Raps in the end.
The Storm just, that was pure bait, and it was so extremely effective. UMAD's last hope was that last set of Raxes, and they basically just fell too far behind. Yeah, dude, that was nuts.
They took their battles, and they did very well. I'm very surprised that this was the outcome, but VeXx definitely played their cards right and pulled out very well.
They did. I think through most of that game, we were like, well, VeXX's chances are, like, doable, but not, like...
Yeah, like it honestly, it did seem like they were the underdogs in the lineup, but the Storm Spirit played a very great game, and he definitely gave them that advantage they needed.
Absolutely.
And caught them up when they needed it most.
Yeah, I mean, you really can't declare any other MVP than Lights. He played his absolute... He used that early farm and the early Bloodstone to just leverage into tremendous games.
Yeah, that was definitely very well played, and congratulations to VeXx. I'm looking forward to versing them. Hopefully right now.
Yep, exactly. So this is the Chicago Dota 2 Open. That was the losers bracket finals. VeXx will advance. UMAD will take a very well-fought third place in the competition, and we're gonna have TMCP against VeXx next. Shibby, you are actually playing in this game, so you got any shout-outs before we go in?
Oh, dude, shout out to Hackle Shots and all my great teammates. I really hope we can pull through and win hard.
All right, folks.
I appreciate everything. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to co-cast.
No problem, dude. Thanks so much. And yeah, the guy you just heard, Shibby, will be helping out his team, TMCP, the defending champions. We'll see how it goes against VeXx. That's coming up next. Don't go away, folks. Thanks so much for watching.
Thank you very much. Take it easy.
Yep.